And welcome back. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
All right,
Ooh,
guys.
child, things will get brighter.
Welcome to the Dead Vibes Cafe. This is, I believe, episode 4, right?
It is.
Yes, I do believe it's
I
episode
am.
4.
We.
Quite late, in fact,
It
and
is. It
it's
Very
is.
late.
it's my deepest apologies, and I think all of our apologies there.
I think
Life,
there's just been a lot of
It's.
life stuff.
It's been so hectic that we can't even meet in person and record. We're actually recording through Discord right now.
Yeah, you gotta love it, man. It happens, but we gotta make do with what we got and keep the path, keep moving forward.
Anyway, today we are here with me, myself, Drowsy, Lee, and
Hi.
Tony.
Yes, I'm here.
So, it's been a couple weeks. What do you guys? What's on the agenda today? What are we talking about?
Man, I had a few things.
And I
that
got
I
a
wanted
couple
to
things
written
too, so
down.
I'm gonna let Lee take the stage here.
Honestly, I gotta remember what we even talked about in the last podcast. Did I even talk about Mortal Kombat?
No, we haven't talked
kind
about
of,
Mortal Kombat
kind
at
of. We
all.
talked about talked about rumors because honestly, the game hadn't come out yet.
Nope.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, this is my being level like 55, 56 now in the game, and for people who play it, they know that it takes a fucking minute.
Oh yeah, no
To
man,
level
it
up, bro.
takes
Like I
it
was
takes a
playing
minute.
Invasions for so long,
How long, Lee? How
I've
long
completed
did you
everything in
spend?
them.
How long did you spend on Invasion? Because I've
Oh
just
man,
played maybe like a couple hours worth, and I'm like, I don't know.
I spent a lot. I finished everything in it, so I did everything. You have to go all the way through in order to get like this nether rock or whatever the fuck they called it, and you get more areas and costumes. That's why I have so many costumes for all the characters. Um, but the worst thing about that game, in my opinion, like I'll get into the online problems, but like for actual like single player just characterization, you have to level up each individual character to like the max is like 35 to unlock like specific costumes, their other fatality, their other brutalities, different taunts and everything. But it takes like a minute because imagine this, right? I played through all the invasions like levels, right? I've done all of it, and I only did it with Johnny Cage, and he's barely at level 22 or 23 or like somewhere around
Really?
there. Yeah, he's not even level 30 yet. And like it's like what do I have to do? Like online I think gives you a little bit, but like
Online, what
it's
you
super
gain is
annoying.
so minimal. It's absolutely annoying. Like they need to
Yeah.
fix that.
I had to do, the glitch that not really glitch, but like one of the levels in Invasion, you just keep on repeating it and then you get more if you get like a flawless and then if you do a brutality on top of that, you get a lot of XP. And like don't even get me started on the cameo characters. The cameo characters take even longer to like
Bro, I
level up.
haven't even started unlocking them. I haven't even started leveling them up. Nothing.
Yeah, and so like it's best if like it's good if like you only main a few characters, then you can only focus on them. But even
I mean,
then,
I
like
do
even
only
just
main
like
a few characters.
yeah,
Like
I know.
it
But
kind of
even
sucks
like
because you got my main like 2 times, and it
yeah.
kind of pissed me off.
I mean, even having it as one character is still like a bitch and a half to like level up. It's gonna take a lot of your time, which I feel like is kind of stupid. It's like, you know, I don't know why they had to make it like that. I think they should have made it a little bit easier, um, to level up at least, or at least
No, man,
different
they just want
ways.
people. I think they just want people to play the game. Like, and I think that's why they made the fatalities so easy. Is because like they just want people to play the game. Because I feel like in the previous ones, it's like the skill gap was so far that you couldn't like get there without putting in the hours.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that,
Although it's
and they
not
just
that
wanted
great
to
for like
be.
a veteran, for a brand new player that was never played like a
hmm
fighting game before, I think it's a good introduction.
But that's also. But here's the other issue, right? Is online now. I've played quite a few matches now. I think maybe 20 matches now, and like I have like it's like 16-4 or something like that. Or maybe I have a few more losses. I don't remember, but
I
I
tell
haven't
you,
played
the
in a while.
losses though, man, they've been against people that blew your fucking mind.
Well, here's the problem with that. Is the reason it's not really blowing my mind. It's the fact that they only use a few sets of characters, and that is Raiden, fucking Smoke, and let's see. There's some Johnny Cages out there. There's a few Raikos out there, but mostly I'll see is Scorpion, Raiden, Sub Zero, and Smoke. Mostly Smoke. Every
I've
time I
seen
ran
a
into a
lot of
Smoke
Liu
and
Kangs,
Raiden,
bro.
I have not seen that many. I've seen one and he sucked ass. But
I
every
saw
time I
like
see
at least 6.
Every time I see a Smoke or a Raiden, they're absurdly like good. But it's also because like I don't like using the term a crutch character, but they kind of are, and it's really annoying because there's only like 5 characters being used in online. Like any other character, I haven't seen them. Like barely no Shao Kahns. There's like maybe been like one Havoc. I have never seen I've never seen what's it called?
I never seen that vampire bitch.
Yeah, barely see her. I've seen her maybe
Yeah.
like once, It's just like it's not fun because there's not many other characters you're playing against. It's like always like that. And like even like I had the thought like shit, I might as well play Smoke as well. But then I was just like, no, I don't really
Nah,
want
man,
to,
playing Smoke is
because
a
like
bitch move.
yeah, because like
It's an easy
like man
character to master.
when new Cybot comes out, like that's where it's like gonna be really annoying. Hopefully he doesn't have like the moves that he had from like 11 or like 9 and shit.
I don't think they'll make that same mistake. Honestly, I'm really
Eh,
looking
they
forward
might.
to Omni Man.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to Omni Man. I'm looking forward to
Homelander.
Homelander. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to Peacemaker. Actually, I want to main
I
Peacemaker.
I just think they need to nerf some of the characters, or at least make them a little bit more balanced. Because like obviously people are taking more favors to these characters because they just have such OP move sets and like such hard ones to like break out of, and like obviously you can learn to like block a lot of it, but at the same time, man,
I
a
mean,
lot
if
of
you're
them are
spending
really
all your
good to
time blocking, then like, what's the point of
yeah.
playing the game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's like there's obviously ways around it, but at the same time, they have so many movesets that can just make you too focused on either blocking, like Smoke. Like, that's like his only counter, really, is just to make sure you block every single hit. And then if you don't and you miss it, you're kind of fucked. So it's like, it's just really annoying. But other than that, honestly, I'm still enjoying the game. Like, I'm
No, I
still
think the
playing
gameplay is
Johnny Cage
super
a lot.
fun. I've been playing. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing a lot of Reptile.
Reptile's fun. It's cool.
Reptile's super fun, bro. And then you put people in like an endless loop, and that shit, it pisses people off.
Yeah, I was trying to just try some of the other characters I don't see people use that often. And like
I
I could
mean,
tell,
I can
like I know there's a
understand
lot of people.
why some of those characters don't get used, and then some of them I'm like, I can see like a sleeper here. And you
Yeah,
get somebody who's super good with this character, and man, I'm fucked.
I mean I've been only using Johnny Cage really in online because he's the one I know the best. But it's so funny because his fatal blow or whatever it's called
Yeah.
is so funny to me because most people don't know that it's an unblockable if you hold it through the dance the entire way. So they'll just stand there, and I'm like, no way he's gonna fall for this, no way, and they always do. And I'm like, how do they not know this yet? And like some of them don't even know it's a counter for when he's still dancing, and like you can
I
cancel
didn't
out
know
of it
that.
too. Yeah, you can cancel out of it. You can actually activate it early too. Like
Yeah.
it's
Did you know
it's really funny.
on Reptile's bubble, like the bubble that he shoots out?
Hmm.
You can spam that shit.
Oh, I know.
Bro, it's hilarious when you finish people like that and you just spam that shit on them.
Oh, it's evil.
It's evil. It's absolutely evil.
Evil.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Honestly,
I was
Drowsy,
looking at you and I was just like,
you gotta give it a playthrough at least once, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time to play.
oh, I gotta let my cat out. Let's
I'd
go
imagine
walk, I
so.
guess. Let's go walk around the house. Yeah, I mean, it's still an enjoyable game. Like, I can't wait till Spider-Man 2 comes out, and then
I've
I
been
think that's
Next
hearing
the
a
month,
only other
maybe.
lot of
game.
hype around that game. Jesus
Hmm.
Christ, that game is overhyped.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only game I'm really hyped for, because like most of the games I'm like more keen on playing now is like I've been playing more Rainbow Six Siege. I've been playing Valorant still.
Who?
Drowsy's been playing Team Fortress 2 with me, so we've been having fun with that. The Halloween
Gotta-
events on Team Fortress 2 as well, and I haven't played it in so long, so we've been
we
having
gotta
fun with
hop
that.
into we gotta hop back into Valorant, boys. I gotta keep hunting for my sheriff skin.
You know, dude, me and Drowsy, man, we've been having ups and downs, man, during those times, and like
Man,
every time we see a
I've heard
chamber, we're
all about
like,
it.
yeah, every time we see a chamber, we're like, oh man, I miss him. I miss him so much.
No, you don't. Don't lie to
Yeah.
yourself.
No, man. It does. It's not the same. Trust me. We've run into people who are worse than you, and like even beyond that. Like you're not even like bad per se. Like you make bad decisions sometimes, but like at least you're like not complete trash. You know. Like I've seen you hit shots like I never even think I could fucking hit. You know.
Well, nah,
These
bro, because
guys.
like, but bro, I spend way too much time in the range, okay? And I practice the shots that there's such like minuscule amounts of times that'll happen, but when it does, man, you're dead. You're dead to me.
Get that to me. Yeah. I made Drowsy mad because I was playing Neon and I was just doing a bunch of
Did you
little
learn how to
just
run
running around.
backwards?
I did actually, yeah, I have been
Oh,
doing that.
sick.
I've been trying to get better at just doing the juking with her. There
Bro,
was one what
I
we
want to see
played
you get
in
insane at Neon.
we played it in one comp game and I snuck around. I think it was on Split and I snuck around to Garage.
Yeah.
That wasn't Split, is it? Is that what it's called, Drows?
It was. I think it was split.
Yeah, and then I snuck around to the garage and I killed like three of them, bro. And I was just like, I'm surprised they didn't see me. And I just blasted all of them. It was
Hey,
fun. It
man,
was a very fun character.
sometimes.
It was either her or KO, and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to go fast, bro. Oh, no cap. I want to go fast.
Hey,
Huh?
oh shit, you know what? It doesn't even matter. I'm not really gonna talk about that right now.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna bring this up. I wonder if you guys saw this. I think I mean, let me see if I have like the exact thing. But so I don't know if you've seen any of the leaks for Jujutsu Kaisen, right? But I'll say for like,
I have, and honestly,
okay.
man, they're tragic. I don't
I
want to
know,
talk
I
about
know.
it.
No. But here's the thing, right? So there's a guy who's on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Um, let me just look it up. Guy on Twitter. Okay, so he was like pissed out, like what one of the things happened, right? And it's like this guy with like a Johan profile picture, and he like tags the Taliban, right? to like asking if they do commissions for Japan. Um,
oh my god,
and he was trying to like put like a fucking thing out on the author for Jujutsu Kaisen because of that. And then he started like doing like this like anime talk and everything.
bro,
And he
you
basically and
think
then
people won't take it that far? Like, bro,
oh yeah, dude,
fuck.
he was just like he was addressed like later on by them, and then they were like he basically got anime banned over there, and I was like, yo, and then they were like, if you could keep going with this and not apologize, this will happen, and he types back, then so be it, period mark, and then it just fucking like everyone's just like losing their minds at this guy, bro, and I was like, oh
Bro,
my
this guy
god,
is like the biggest anime villain in real life.
bro, I'm telling you, man, Jujutsu Kaisen had, dude, the amount of like copium people have for is like it's a million times worse than anything I've ever seen for like a show or like series, bro. I was like, holy
You know what it is,
shit.
man? It's like Jujutsu Kaisen does a really good job of like drawing you into the story and like making you feel for these characters and thinking like, oh, this guy's not gonna fucking die. Then when he gets sliced in half, you're like, man, what the fuck just happened?
That's true. I mean, there's a few where like there's a lot of deaths, but like I'm so desensitized to it. It's just like it doesn't matter because I know that people are gonna die. Me,
Nah, I know
me
people are
and
gonna
me and
die, but
Drowsy.
still, it's like, man, fuck.
No, not for that one. Me and Drowsy read Jujika no Rokunin.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
read
dude,
it in a
I haven't caught
while.
up. I haven't caught up.
It's been a couple
I'm a
months,
few
honestly, because
yeah, I'm
Is
a
it
few
on? Is
chapters.
it on? What's it called?
I
You
read
can
it through
probably
Manga
find it
Clash.
anywhere. Yeah, I just read it through regular manga readers. But I showed my brother that too,
Can you read it
and
through
we've
Webtoons?
No,
no,
it's you
definitely
can.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you can find it
You could
on
probably just
Manga
search it up
Clash.
online, dude. Just search it up online, and you could probably find it. But
That shit's
it's
fucked though.
very, yeah, it's very dark. But like after a while, like I talked to my brother, we kind of had to desensitize ourselves to it because we know that if we get too happy for a character, something always bad will fucking happen no matter
Yeah,
what. So we were just kind of like, okay, we're just gonna enjoy what happens. But it's really good. I actually really like it. It's just like, man, like after you get through the first like 30 chapters, you're gonna be like, man, I can't like nobody in this shit. Everyone's fucked up, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's just done for, bro. But I think that's kind of like the entertaining part for it, honestly.
The last
Yeah.
thing I remember reading from it was when dude is trapped on the island. Uh,
I'm slightly past it. I'm still on the island, but I haven't finished it.
I know it's like
I
towards
know
the
what
end of
happens
it,
though.
but like I haven't read past that because
Well,
I
apparently
I
only
kind of got
one
lost in my
dude,
history in my web
one
browser.
one dude gets past the island, so I can only imagine how many people die.
No, there's more. We're saying like he wasn't on an island.
It's a small little arc.
Yeah, it's just a small arc that he goes through, but I mean, there's certain definitely like death on there, but he's not like only survivor type shit, like some total drama shit.
Fair enough.
There was actually something on about total drama too. Going out, someone made like a fanfic or whatever, where like there's like a killer on the loose, killing like all of them and shit. And that was on Twitter as well, or not Twitter, TikTok as well. I was like reading them at work. I was surprised. So much
You
random
know,
stuff going
I
on.
think one thing that like I really don't like about my new job. Oh yeah, I got a new job. I work at the hospital now. It's boring. I lose my mind because of how boring it is. I need more.
And yeah, your boss is Chris McLean from Total Drama Island, right?
No, like actually, bro, he don't give a fuck. He really doesn't give a shit. Like literally, he'll come in and like one day I saw him and he was like he came up to all the desks and I swear to God he was juggling. He was juggling stress balls.
That's
He was
actually
straight
pretty
up
cool.
juggling.
I'd
And I'm
probably do
like,
that too.
and he's like, so what's going on, guys? Anything you want to talk about? And he like always comes through and he like always like checks up on us. But he's like the chillest boss, doesn't really talk much, just kind of does his thing. But I'm like, I'm dying because like half the time I'm bored out of my fucking mind. Like I'm losing it, right? Like I'm sitting in that chair, looking up at the ceiling, waiting for the day to end because like I don't have anything to do. I finished all my reports and like everything that I've needed to do is done. And I have an 8 hour day ahead of me and like I don't know what to fucking do. What do I do? Do I just sit there? Or do I like I can't really take a nap, but like man, it's fucking it's tragic.
I think it's easier for my job because even if I'm done with something, I'll
There's
just
always
go.
something to do.
Yeah, I'll just go. Help people out, doing whatever I need to do.
I feel
Speaking
like
of
that's
like,
the
you had
thing.
the little pride or whatever, like your week for your department. We actually have that this week.
Oh, that's cool.
I was there yesterday. I got my cooler from them. I got a free cooler.
Oh
It was
hell yeah.
cool. They had some like raffles and stuff. I think today was supposed to be ice cream day.
Yeah, today was
Um,
ice cream day.
yeah, but yeah, it was good. It's nice. I didn't even know they had like I forget what they called it, but it's like honor walk or whatever. Yesterday, and I didn't know what it was, and apparently it's like when they get taken, people get taken to the OR to donate their organs when they pass.
Oh damn.
And people kind of like give their respect by walking with them. So I thought that was pretty cool. Actually, I never heard about that. I thought that was pretty cool that they do that.
Yeah, I mean, gotta pay respect,
Yeah,
People,
I mean it's a big thing.
yeah.
It helps a lot.
I mean, I
Oh, dude,
donated kidney.
someone came
What?
down and they had like on the move flu vaccines as well too. It was crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially because I'm like in the basement, so like they came all the way down there, and I was like, hell yeah, didn't even have to go over there.
Damn.
You know. Oh, I
Bro,
just
you got a
remembered.
cooler? Bro,
Yeah,
they
I got a
only fed
cooler.
us. What the fuck? Like, we got food catered yesterday. That shit was fucking amazing. But
Yeah,
I would have much rather had a cooler.
yeah, it's a decent sized cooler. I mean, I could definitely fit some like cans of whatever I want.
Oh, yeah, no, I
That's
got one
mostly
of
what I'm
those,
gonna
like,
use for.
mini coolers, bro. They fit,
Yeah.
like, 8 cans perfectly, and then you put, like, a 7-pound bag of ice in there. Perfect size.
Oh, of course, dude. I can't wait to use it. Honestly, it's not like it's
I
kind of
hope
nice
you
too
can
because
use it.
like it's kind of nice too because like most of the products from my hospital, I'm not gonna say the name of it, but it usually has like really bright colors, but it's pretty dark, so you can't really like see what
I
kind
think
of
you said the
brand it
name of your
is.
hospital in the last episode.
I hope not.
Pretty
I'm
sure
gonna
I
have
sent
someone
it out.
fact check that, but I'm like pretty sure he did.
You might have to censor that out.
I feel like
I'm not.
I feel
I'm
like
not
your
actually
brother.
allowed to do that.
I feel like your brother would have said something.
That's true. That's true.
Probably, but yeah, I'm not allowed to say that. Sorry. Um, got anything, Drowsy? You haven't said a single word.
Yeah,
I feel like
man, you've been
you've
really
made
quiet
yourself
today.
mute.
I've
Are
been.
you okay? Like, I know
I've
we
Yeah.
made
been.
you come away from like a friend's house
Well, I
and you were like
was in the
vibing.
middle. I was in the middle of practice. That's why.
No, no, no. I get it. I get it. You were in the middle of practice. You were probably vibing. You're having a good time. I could hear the like irritation on your voice when you said fine.
No, I wasn't irritated. It's just
Oh, no, 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 no,
No,
no.
he hung
Don't
up. He hung up. He punched a
don't try
wall.
to. Yeah, man. He
He
got
picked up.
well,
upset.
yeah. I hung up because
You know that scene in Punisher, or like the like original one, like the first one, where like the giant blonde guy like throws Frank like down the stairs and he fucking
Yeah,
tumbles. That's what he
yeah. I
did.
know exactly what you're talking
This
about. That's exactly what Drowsy did on his way, like shutting off the phone call and leaving my friend's
I
house.
I shut
He
the phone
he
call off
activated
because you
he
guys were.
activated his dead eye and he
Let
put all of
me.
it towards Scott's head and just goes like fucking hits a 6 shooter right into his head.
I
Oh my
ended I
god.
ended the call because you guys were getting mad, and I was like, well, if you want me to come, like, I have to like leave now. You guys kept talking, so I had
No,
to hang up
no,
the phone
no,
to leave.
drowsy. We weren't getting mad, okay? We were just
You guys are
expressing ourselves
pretty
because you were the
heated.
one who was like telling us all day, man, we need to do the podcast.
It was
Man,
not
we
all
need to do the
day.
You know,
podcast.
I think it's
It
mostly
was all
because
day.
I
it,
was waiting for you
it
guys to message me.
I think it's mostly because when me and Tony, because we haven't talked in so long, when it's been a while since we've talked, we can't stop talking,
That's
and
true.
so
That's
that's
true.
also.
Like I'll never forget the time we went to Big Bear and we kept Drowsy up all night because we kept talking. Like,
Oh my
Oh, dude,
god,
that
man.
reminds me. We were gonna talk about that. We never did. Um, so we actually have a few things to bring up for that one. But since you already brought up like the sleeping one, we might as well bring that up because Drowsy has like a little bone to pick with us because
I
of
know,
that.
man. Drowsy's not too happy about that one.
That
that
shit was so.
was
It's so funny because I don't remember that much of it. Like I don't even remember like too much of like what we played. Like I
Oh
like
yeah,
he
no,
keeps on
I
saying
remember.
no, I remember, but like he keeps on saying that we listen to like Minecraft music
We
for
did.
like
We listened to Minecraft music one night, and then we listened to
rain sounds
rain
another
sounds
one
with
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 the
thunder
Guts
and
Minecraft.
theme
everything.
in the background. No, the Guts theme
Yeah.
in the background.
Oh really? I don't remember
Yeah, it was
that
the
one.
Guts theme in the background with the rain sounds.
from from Drowsy's point of view, he says
Drowsy was
he
losing
could
it.
he could hear us laughing like hyenas every time he told us to shut up. He could just hear the music the entire time. They just couldn't go to bed. It got to a point where our buddy Scott, he was just like about to answer us when we were calling them. Drowsy looks at him. He's just like, just don't do it, man. Don't say nothing to him. Just sleep. Just ignore him. and it's bad because there was like a hole in the ceiling. Like at least it goes over. There's like a little bit more
Goes
space
over
between
into
it.
the other bedroom.
Yeah, you can like totally just
Bro,
scream and the other bedroom can hear.
parents could not go hard in that bedroom without letting their kids know they were going hard. Like that's all I'm
100%.
saying. It was that open floor plan type bullshit feng shui, you know. But man, it was privacy
That
not included.
that was such. There were so many things that went wrong for that trip that was just funny to me.
You know,
My
man, like
one of those things though, no, but like it was good though because it was funny. But like there was things I questioned. One thing I questioned was Scott's appetite because I still hold it to him because like he brings a whole 12 pack of hot pockets, bro. He
for
eats
3 days.
like 9
For
for
three
3 days and
days.
he ate 9 of them. And he ate 9 of them, and he had like 3 left on the last day. And he's just like, "Yeah, guys, I don't know what happened, but we only have like 3 for the 4 of us to share." And I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck?" It was funny too because then we were talking about the noodles you had made, and like I don't know,
It
well,
was
maybe how I
pasta.
forgot. I don't know pasta. I mean, yeah, the pasta, and I don't know how I forgot, or maybe I just didn't know in general. But you put vodka in the pasta, and I was like, no wonder that shit tasted like ass. Oh my god!
Yeah,
And I
he put
was
like apple flavored vodka in the pasta.
like, yeah, like pear flavored vodka,
Okay, okay,
and
listen, I didn't have much to go with. I didn't have many options for ingredients. I was working with very little and I had to improvise.
oh my
I would have been
god.
fine if there was just like some salt in there and nothing else over the
Oh my
vodka.
god.
Yeah, I remember Scott described it like you just gave him like this like confident smile. It was just like, yeah, just like pour that shit in there, and I was like, oh god, it was so bad. And I was just like, maybe it's because of all the Smirnoff ices we drink those few days.
Probably, man.
She
Oh,
was
I'm
she
crying.
was rat poison to us. And then I had the rest of that bottle of vodka in my freezer for like a year.
What did you end up doing with it?
Um,
I remember I took a
my
few hits of it every time
my
I came to your house.
no, he didn't.
I
My
did. Like every once in a while, I'd grab a sip of it.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
god.
My stepmom used the rest of it to make some vanilla extract with it. I think something like that.
Pear flavored vanilla extract.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
but I
That's
mean, at least it
awful.
got used. I think I
You know?
drank like the last drops of it. There was like just some left of it, but that's
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
fair.
Yeah, but that was fun. I want to go snowboarding down there again.
I'm down to go skiing.
Yeah, but like Drowsy said, um, let's not watch all of Berserk, like the 19 whatever, like the entire collection.
1997 version.
Yeah, the
Bro,
1997
okay,
version all the
listen,
way
listen.
through.
Listen, it wasn't us. It was the owner of said property. He had the 1997 Berserk collection all in DVD, which is
Could you
probably
imagine?
worth
Could you
like thousands
imagine?
of dollars in itself.
Could you imagine if um, like a family goes there and they're like the parents are asleep
Oh my
and they're like, oh,
god.
let's just pull up some movies, and they pull up that shit and they're
That's
like,
the worst thing to like man, I feel bad for the kids. Like honestly, uh awful.
yeah, I don't think they could recover. I think they would end up like how Guts does at the end of those. Runs out into the snow and just fucking starts swinging, swinging the imaginary sword.
No, for real though.
Oh man, you gonna bring up anything, Drowsy? You're gonna just stay silent this whole podcast.
I'm
Jesus
thinking,
Christ, you're
Like
thinking
how
we've given
I want
you
to
at
know
least like 30 minutes of content.
how long this podcast has been. Like
I'm sure we've given at
give me a
least like
time
um,
frame,
30.
Drowsy.
it has been almost 30 minutes.
I told you. See, we give like 30 minutes worth of content, and
You
Drowsy
know,
hasn't said a single
I feel
damn
like we've
word.
done well, Lee. I feel like we've done very well.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say
I
so.
mean,
I give ourselves a pat on the back.
I
you
do. I
know,
do.
Yeah.
I am but merely a producer, you know. So
You're still here though.
Nah, you
You can
know,
still add in.
I think I understand what Drowsy's going about though, because in reality, he is more of a mediator. You know,
Hmm.
yeah,
he makes
You
sure that
you should be our
Should be what?
We we say a joke, you know.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Drowsy, your new job is to laugh and sing and dance like a monkey.
You know,
Maybe I'll do that.
in Shrek 1 where like it's like at the wedding and they have
Oh
like one
my
of
god.
the executioner, he's like waving a
Yeah.
sign saying laugh or whatever. That's what he's gonna be doing whenever we get like cameras and everything. He just comes in, he's just like
Oh my god.
laugh, cry, think
Awful.
about yourself.
Absolutely awful.
It'd be hilarious. We gotta get him the executioner mask too.
I'm down for that. I'm down to get him an
Yeah,
executioner mask. Mostly as a present. Mostly as like a gift that I hope he wears to like gatherings.
yeah. I think he'd like that.
I think he would. What do you say, Drowsy?
Mm,
Executioner mask?
I'll be Lord Farquaad.
No, no, no. I'll be Lord Farquaad.
You'll still be too tall, even if you went on your knees.
I'll go on my knees.
Run, run as fast as you can. I'm
I
excited for the
haven't.
new movie, actually, for that.
I
Bro,
can't.
imagine Shrek as a Mortal Kombat character.
Oh man, I'd use him all the time.
Like, bro,
His fatal blow would be like donkey, and he like tore him out and fucking hit him right in the
I
head with
couldn't.
Donkey's little hoofs.
Yeah, yeah, that would actually
Donkey
make sense.
calls in his girlfriend the dragon, just fucking fatalities you.
Actually, it would be cool if they come in if he's like donkey, and donkey like calls up his dragon bitch, and she's like, "All right, I'll go and eat this guy," and she comes and eats him.
What a hell of a DLC character that is. Jesus. I think honestly, you know what I wish that Mortal Kombat would do is to make a game that's similar to Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because I just love how broken everyone is in that game.
Oh, me too, bro. It's
And
so much fun.
me and Drowsy, we didn't finish the video. I do want to finish it with him, but there was a YouTuber I like to watch. I think it's the Russian Badger, Russian Honey Badger, or something like that.
Something like
Um,
that.
I always forget his full channel name, but I always like watching his content. But he was doing a little tournament for some Jordans, Jordan ones, and then like $15,000 in this
Yeah.
tournament for Marvel's Capcom 3. And it was so funny seeing him as someone who hasn't really like played it as much, you know. He was just like beginning in it, and like seeing him figure out what characters are OP and like the different moves, and it just reminded me of how much we played of that game because I think
Bro, how much
we
oh
played
god.
probably over like 2,000 games like
It
for,
it it
on
became and the worst part was the only reason we kept playing it so often was because of how evenly matched we were throughout the entirety of the entire
dude, there was
like
because
gaming
like
experience.
it could definitely be at one point where like one of us is like 10 ahead, but as by the end of the night it's like 1-to-1, like
It's
almost
always like
tied or just pretty much
it's
tied in
tied
general, you know, like it's
or it's
crazy.
1 to 1. Like if we were doing up to 50, it would go 25-25. And it's
I
What
like,
was I think our most was 500, right? Like 500 each.
yeah, 500 each. And we did 1,000 games in one
It
day. We
was,
played for literally an entire, and I mean 24-hour almost
and
period.
I think it's hard for me to like. I think it's well, it's hard. I think it's hard for both of us to really focus on like a game, like and like actually get joy from it and like continuously play like
Yeah.
that much. So like I think that fighting game is probably the
Our
most I think
competitive
we've
nature got
ever
the better of
played.
us, and we just kept going.
I
No, dude, it was
do
just insane.
I
Like
do
I
want to
would
say
be
something to
comfortable at
this.
like the height of all of that to be playing against pros.
I
I'd
think
be
it's
comfortable.
I think it's also because how fast the games are most of the time. So
Yeah.
like we could actually speed through it pretty fast and like
I mean,
yeah.
that 500 game day was like long as fuck.
Oh yeah, it was. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Yeah, so bringing up like the whole like fucking fighting game shit. It's still a shock to me that like for how little you and I played it, like most of the time, like back when we were playing the fucking multiverses game, that
Mhm.
you and I somehow managed just like playing casually, like managed to get to, like to the like fucking top 500 of like all players, just like
Yeah.
not even trying. Like we were always messing around in the games.
Wait, in what
We
game?
in
In
multiverses.
multiverses, remember when it was like Bugs Bunny, Tom
Oh
and
yeah.
Jerry? Yeah,
Yeah,
me and Drowsy, man, we were just like messing around in the game, and then we were like, well, oh, I wonder what, like, because it shows like what rank you are in the world,
yeah,
and we were like really high up there, and I was like, what is going on? Like,
yeah.
I was like,
I was like, there's no way that we're like that high up with like how she, like I felt like we weren't even that great. Like I mean, we did really well, but like I didn't think we were like good enough to be that high. Like
I mean, bro, you got to give yourself more credit. You're decent at a video game.
I mean,
Congrats.
like that. The thing is, it didn't feel like that for sure. Like, cause it was always just
Oh
like
yeah, because you were
us
probably
fucking
always
with them.
playing against other people who were really good.
I don't know, man. It's just like I would play as Jake, and Lee would like switch off between like a few other characters. But like whenever we had like the Jake and Bugs Bunny combo, we were like damn near unstoppable.
it was
That's
nasty.
fair.
It was nasty. Like, I'm sad that game died so fast because like I just think there wasn't enough updates and there wasn't enough like
No, the
things
reason the
for the
reason why
game,
it
but
died was because they didn't prioritize the 1v1 games. It was a very much a 2v2 based kind
yeah,
of
that
game,
too.
so
Yeah,
it wasn't like really optimized for 1v1s. Because like
yeah,
Smash type games are very much 1v1 based for like any like kind of competitive scene.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess you're right.
I
Like
still had fun
being
with it. I think it was
having a
still interesting to
competitive
play.
scene in that game would be really difficult having the 2v2s.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too hard to get into, just all of my previous Smash knowledge just translated over to that because it's a platform fighter.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I've always liked fighting games, like no matter what, even if I'm like good or bad at them. I think it's
That's
from
true.
my dad because for some of the people who played some older games. I don't know if you guys know this one, Virtual Fighter.
Yeah, I
Me and
know
my dad
Virtual
played
Fighter.
that. Yeah, me and my dad played a lot of that, and like I think it's a really good game. He still wishes for it to come back and everything, and
I think they
I wouldn't
are
mind it.
having come back.
They should have it come back in VR.
Let me see.
It's in VR. Jesus. I always
The
played that. I
damage
was
done to
always
your house
my
is not included in the price of the.
my favorite character I always played was that um, he was the guy with like the mask and like the flame pants, and he would always play in the WWE kind of like Hell in a Cell kind of looking stage. I
Oh
always
really?
loved playing that guy.
I'm
He was
trying
so
to
cool.
I'm trying to look up if there's because I swear I saw something about like not like a remake, but maybe like a remaster or port for Virtual Fighter, and the first thing that popped up was a picture of Michael Jackson playing Virtual Fighter.
That's
Wow.
fucking random.
Yeah,
Specifically, Michael Jackson.
yeah,
Yeah, it was either that Tekken and Mortal Kombat. Um, I
Bro,
never played as
I'll
much
still
of
rock
Street
your shit
Fighter.
in Tekken.
We'll see, man. When the new one comes out, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Bro, it's gonna
You
be
gotta
some
play. You gotta play
heat.
against my dad. My dad's actually like he's actually kind of cracked at Tekken. I'm not even gonna lie. Like out of all like the fighting games, like besides Virtual Fighter, he's actually pretty cracked at Tekken. I give him that.
I don't know about that, man. I think I'll still prevail.
Oh no, dude, he's trust me, like he's
Bro,
cracked.
you know I'm pretty cracked at Tekken.
But my dad actually knows the moves.
I
He's
know the
not just
moves
spamming.
too.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
his dad invented the moves.
Tony, you invented the move. Tony, there's like over like 150
Hey man, it's all
moves for
timing, I'm
some of the
telling you.
characters sometimes, man. Like it's insane. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
Um, I will say though, I have not played as much of Street Fighter, so I don't know much about Street Fighter. Like I know the
I'm not
characters. I just
that
never
great at
played that
Street
much.
Fighter.
Yeah, I'm alright at it. I just never really played it as much, so I
I don't
can't say
find any
I'm good at
interest
it.
in like buying the game. If I can get it for free, I don't mind, but like I won't buy it.
Yeah,
Like I know the new Street Fighters, has it come out already?
yeah, it came out a while ago, dude.
All right, yeah, no, I'm not that
Yeah,
interested.
it's actually pretty like cool. I like the whole system for the game where like it's open world for like the story, and
That's pretty cool.
you can literally fight anybody on the street.
Yeah,
Like
I saw that. That was
yeah,
cool.
like there's like an old lady there. You can just start a fight with her and she'll fight you.
God.
Like it's a pretty good time. From what I've seen.
I want another Injustice because I've no one ever wants to play me in Injustice. I will I will attest to that. That I've made everyone abandon that ever since like the first game came out.
I'll play you in
Um,
Injustice.
you will, but you'll hate me.
I know, I always do. You always pick your main,
That's
and I just always lose.
not even, bro.
And then like the last time,
No,
and then the last
I'll
time we
do
played,
random.
you picked random, and then it went to your main, and you kind of chuckled before we hopped into the match, and I was like, man,
No, I did a bunch of randoms too, and I still won mostly because I know the characters. But there is like a few characters I'm bad with, but majority of the characters I just know how to play for some reason. Because I don't know why. I think that game is easier for me to understand
I mean,
because I
honestly,
like a
that's how
lot of
Tekken
the
is for me.
yeah.
Was it a? I don't remember if it was Injustice or MK10 or MK11 that we were playing, Lee, and I remember like I beat you like once and you're like, okay, that's it. You had to like pull out all the stops to do it again. And I remember I got after that I got like close quite a few times and you got pretty mad about it.
I think that
I
was
think it was probably Mortal
Marvel vs.
Kombat.
Capcom.
No, I was thinking it was either more. Well, it could have been that, or it could have been Mortal Kombat 10.
You're
Because I know
right.
we
It couldn't
played
have been
that a
Mortal
lot of the
Kombat.
time. Because I wasn't as good in Mortal Kombat 10.
I mean,
Um,
the
I
only
could
as the other
actually
one,
beat you in Mortal
but
Kombat 10.
I think
yeah,
I think the only times I've ever won in Marvel versus Capcom was anytime we did random because it depended on who we got as a character.
That's true,
yeah,
but sometimes, like, honestly, some of the yeah, that's true.
I will
If
tell
I got one
you,
of the characters that I sucked with, and you got like the fucking
you can't you
what's it
can't
called?
you can't lie though. I was pretty nasty with Hawkeye.
Everyone was nasty with
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
but
I was
yeah.
like,
Hawkeye's
this is
just
good.
good.
yeah, but you guys didn't play him at the time, and then like the next time
What
I
are you
was over, you
talking
guys.
about, Drowsy? We played random every single game,
That's not
and
true.
we played.
You said you guys have mains.
Well, yeah, we have mains, but
We
when we were
barely use
playing those
main
long, drawn out like matches, we would play random every single game.
I would say if maybe like the first and the last match we would use our mains because it's like the conclusion, you know. Like
Yeah, that's
but
true.
every other time it would just be random.
And every
Um,
time we played with our mains, they were always like, and it's funny, both of our mains were always like different from each other. We had to pick three characters, so it's like,
we had to ban a few because we just agreed that some of the characters were just too much to even to be our mains.
no,
And
it's
so
true, man. Some of the characters were just so broken, so like completely and utterly unfair.
yeah, like
Like
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider was nuts,
Yeah,
man.
Ghost Rider was he was so nuts. Virgil, obviously. Um, the Abominate, whatever his name is from Resident Evil. I forgot his name.
Uh, on in
I forget his
on
name too.
Nemesis.
It might be Nemesis. I thought that's what his name was.
I'm pretty
It's Nemesis.
sure
Let me Google this.
because he's from Resident Evil
Yeah,
3, and that game is just Resident Evil
yeah,
Nemesis.
yeah. It is
Yeah,
Nemesis. Yeah, I was just like, I'm pretty sure that's his name. Yeah, he was really good too.
No, he was just utterly broken. He
which
took
by
no
the
Yeah.
way,
damage, but he dealt like if he hit you 3 times with a heavy, you were dead.
Hmm.
which by the way, it is October. We need to play some scary games this month, and I really want you guys to play the Resident Evil 2 remake.
All right, fine. We'll play Resident Evil 2. And is it co-op?
No, but it is. I just want to see you guys getting all flustered and scared.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get scared. It's just a game.
That's not what Lee tells me whenever you guys play horror games.
Nah,
Yeah,
man,
he
I
didn't
just
want to
don't
play
like
Outlast.
playing horror games. Like, I don't
Um,
prefer getting scared when I'm playing a video game. Like,
there was. I mean, there's other games too. Because I don't think I'd get too scared. Because I'm used to Resident Evil. Like I love Resident Evil games. I
I
never really
mean,
get scared
I'm
of
kind of
them.
in the same
The
boat. Like Resident Evil games excite me,
They did
but like
Mhm.
games that are meant for horror, I don't necessarily play.
Games
'cause
They did
games
a-
where I have to games where I have to run away is when I actually am scared.
That's how that's
Because like
how
that's
yeah, I'm the same way, bro. I don't fucking like that
that's
feeling.
how
if I
that's
can
how the
fight
remake
back, it's no
is.
problem. If I can
Yeah.
fight back, it's no problem. But if
That's
it's like I
Give
have
me
to
a
run,
chance. Give me like a small sliver of a chance to fight
that's
back,
a
and I'll try it.
that's how the remake is for Resident Evil 2. It's very different from all the new ones that have come out because they've made the atmosphere like so much darker and like you're the ammo you get is so fucking limited. So like it's not a fun time sometimes. And then there's also Mr. X you have to deal with. So that's also fun.
I
I
mean,
think
but
we
you
need like
always have an option. Like you always have an like there's an end route, you know? Like I feel like in the games where you're running away from people and like you have no option but to run.
Well, that's how Resident
wait,
Evil 2
I
remake
have a
is
question.
because
I have a
yeah.
question. So can we record like if I stream it on Discord, can we record like that? Like while I'm playing the game or something? Like say like that?
Uh
Or would that be easier if it's on the computer at least? If it's on the PlayStation, it's fine. But like
if it's
that's what I'm saying.
on the computer, what essentially all you would have to do is download OBS yourself so that way I'm
I
not
already have
picking
it.
it. Oh yeah, yeah. So you just record the game through OBS and then it'll pick up our audio through Discord as well. So, it makes it easier that way.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I was just like, if there's one that we want to do on there. I'm trying to remember.
That's probably what I'll do like cuz I want to play Fear and Hunger on the channel cuz I've been addicted to that game for a while.
You
I'm
should
trying to
play it
find.
then.
I'm just thinking about a game that like we can make short episodes of. You know, because I know people. That's what people have been wanting to do. I do have. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I actually did want to play Devotion. I heard that was a really good game. That's on PC. Um, I do have the Amnesias, I believe, on my PlayStation as well. Amnesia's good.
We also need a
I've never played any of the Silent Hills. So,
Silent Hill 2 is I'm pretty sure I've already said it, but Silent Hill 2 is probably one of my all-time favorite games. And I'm so happy that it's getting a remake.
mhm. I mean, if you really wanted to, it's just like we need the money to get Resident Evil 2. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, if it's on like a deal or something, it'll probably make it easier. But
I'll check G2A and see what I can find.
because let me see if there was another one that we could do short ones of.
Oh yeah, by the way, for anyone
There's
out
not a
there,
lot because. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, for anyone out there, um, especially if you're like buying games off of Steam and you think the prices are absurd for how long the game's been out, like there's a little website called G2A that I like to use. Cause
Giving all your tips and tricks away.
yeah, cause like fucking these two bozos bought fucking Black Ops 3 for like full price from Steam.
No, I did not. I got it on a discount.
For how much?
It's like $20,
That's
$25.
still too much.
Okay, well,
Cause like
what it is.
our buddy Ruben, he wanted to play we wanted to play Black Ops 2 Zombies, and we went on Steam and we saw that Black Ops 2 in general was like $60, and that made me mad. So I went on G2A and I found a copy of it for like $10, and I got the Steam key for it. And that's how I buy most of my games is through G2A because they have a lot of like there's just games on discount because what people usually do is like they'll buy a game on Steam when it's on sale, and they'll save the key for it so that way they can like sell it um just whenever.
I wish we recorded Visage or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
Visage.
Visage, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was
That
before we had
one
the
was
channel
fun.
going.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all good,
But that
guys.
was a really good one. I mean,
Always have more
we could put a
opportunities to play a video game.
well, I mean, we could just put a list of things that we want to play for October, and yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we can.
I'll pick a short one that like probably won't take too long. I saw someone playing it.
Um,
I forgot
oh,
what it's called, but it won't take too long.
I saw it.
It's one of those like PS1 looking kind of games.
Yeah, there's a lot of those that you can probably find on itch.io that are like fucking an hour long max, maybe.
Yeah,
Um, you guys like dungeon crawlers, right? You know, like fucking,
yeah,
yeah. So, you know, fucking, you know, Oni, right?
yeah.
I saw like maybe a year or two ago they were playing a horror game, but it was also a dungeon crawler. Um, it was like a first
What's the
person.
game called?
I need to find the video. But it was it's a first person dungeon crawler that's also a horror game that you get like upgrades through like every different like room you go to.
Mm,
Um, and you know I thought you guys would like to play it because it looks pretty sick. And I know
that's
you
cool.
guys really like Isaac and Hades.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man,
that's
those
definitely
games are
one.
shit, man. Like I've
There's
I've mastered Isaac. I can honestly say that I've mastered Isaac.
uh I guess so. This is I don't know if this is gonna be the podcast or not, but the one I want to play is called Stay Out the House. Came out in 2022.
I
It's
don't
like
think I've heard
a
of that one.
PS, kind of looks like a PS1 kind of era game, and it's on the PC. It's really cool. I just like the art style of it and how it looks, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty spooky, and I kind of like that, older atmosphere. And it's only like $15, so maybe later on this month it'll be cheaper. So I'll wait a little bit until we want to play it, and then I'll grab it.
Like I
But
said
yeah,
too,
it's really fun.
there's a lot of games on itch.io as well that like
Yeah.
are within that style and they tend to be
Hmm.
short
Yeah.
and they're usually free from like what I just see most of the time.
That's cool.
Um yeah. Uh fucking
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of in the spot where like if someone spent time making a video game, shouldn't they make the money that they should make?
yeah, but people who upload like their oh I mean, are you talking about like in general or like are you talking about like independent like
No, like in general, like
uh nah, I don't care if it's a AAA company. If it's an indie dev,
oh
I
yeah, dude. Obviously, if it's like a AAA company
like
and someone who's making billions of dollars off of more than just game sales.
yeah, that's why I said I used G2A to get Black Ops 2 because there's no way I'm gonna be giving them fucking $60 for a game that came out like almost a decade ago, or even like I think a decade ago. Um, yeah, there's no way, but
It's definitely been, yeah.
there's you know that's you know like indie devs for sure. Like I will always like give full price. But
Yeah, because
like
those devs have like actually worked their asses off to
yeah,
make a game that everyone can love.
and it's usually like a small team like in the AAA industry, a small team is usually like minimum like 200 people. That's considered like a small team for a AAA company. For indie devs, small like a small team is usually like one person, and like
Yeah.
max maybe if you're lucky you have like 3 or 4 other people that are like down to do it. But you know a lot of these indie developers they do it by themselves. Like the game I was talking about earlier, Fear and Hunger, like it's a game made by like one dude. Like he did all the art, the coding, the music, like you know. And I'm glad to see that the game's doing well and people are talking about it a lot. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's been a very big downfall with a lot of AAA companies because, like,
Oh yeah,
you
cause
know, even like seeing, like, I saw clips of like the new Call of Duty and I was just like, that just looks like shit. And then I heard that they were gonna bring it's like the old style for that they did in Cold War, where it's like 60 people in zombies, and then you can only be in like a 4-man squad, and like you just do a bunch of shit, and then you evac, and you escape, and then you can come back with like the stuff you had. But there's like not really any story or anything. Like, it's just weird. I just don't like that.
I mean, man, honestly, like I don't think we're gonna see a good Call of Duty. I think we just have to accept the fact that we were part of like a lucky generation that got to
yeah,
see like an
Yeah,
awesome game be brought to our eyes. and sadly, we'll never be witness to that.
I think it's just
I mean,
people people still like shovel their money to like Treyarch, so they will keep putting out a
Pumping
new
out like shit.
yeah, they'll keep coming
it's
out with
it's
like a
yeah,
new COD
it's
every year, and each
well,
time
I
it's
think
like
that's
gonna be shitty.
I think that's the strange thing is like the gamer kind of like attitude when like any popular game comes out and like I'll use like a new Mortal Kombat for example, right? Like people were complaining, in the beginning and all that, and people were like, "Oh man, people can never be happy." But those people also don't realize is like if you don't, check these companies for putting out games with like shitty glitches or like not saying Mortal Kombat has any glitches. I'm just saying any glitches or unbalancing or like
Or just
just a
making
bunch
a
of other
good game
things
in
that,
general.
like the servers aren't working, like, and then you're putting it out there. Like you need to call them out on that
Yeah,
and like say, hey, you need to fix it. Like we paid the money you asked us for. We want the game that you advertised for,
I think
and like
the biggest example of that recently was when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, and all these like the fucking these AAA game developers were getting mad at them because they came out with a really good game that like people who don't play that genre of game are now playing it because
mm,
it's just a well put together game, and people are loving it because it's very high quality with a lot of quantity to it, which is rare to
mm,
see with a game. um and like these AAA devs are commenting like that they're like ruining everything because now people are going to start expecting like that type of quality from them
Well,
when
yeah, dude, that's the
when
type of shit they should be putting out.
when you as a developer that has a shit ton of money, because you're a AAA company should already be doing something like that. Like I get it, like like making a game is not easy. Like I right now, like I've been working on a game with a couple friends of mine, and like even just getting people organized is it's not easy to do. But like like if you have the money and you have the right amount of people, then there's not. I don't think there's really an excuse to be like releasing games with like fucking like game ending bugs or like like just not like good quality because you're so worried about like the woke mob, or like just like you're so used to doing the same thing over and over again that you don't want to try something new out. And I think it's the reason why people are going to like a lot of these indie developers because like it's games being made by people who like actually play games and enjoy them. And I've noticed a lot of the times that these AAA devs, they have openly stated that they don't like games, nor do they like people who play games. Um, so it's like if you have that type of people working for you, then like of course you're gonna be like coming out with shit that people don't like.
yeah, and like
Yeah, absolutely right.
the other issue too is like a lot of the time they're pumping them out in like a year span or like they're not spending any time on it, and like they'll look at games like fucking like Elden Ring and like you said Baldur's Gate, who took a lot of time to make their game, and they're like, oh,
That's true.
now they're huh.
Said that's true, but I think the best example of a company that took their time with releasing a game, like they first like came out with an announcement for the game like back in like 2012, and the game came out like 3 years ago. It was Cyberpunk. That game, people have been waiting for that game for almost like a decade for that game to come out. And when it came out, it was like barely playable, and like they spent so much time like trying to add so much shit to it that it didn't work. uh it just it just wasn't a good time for anybody. Like
I'll say okay, with that aspect, because like Cyberpunk to me is the same as how Days Gone was, right? Or was that the right one? Days Gone, or is it that? Oh, No Man's Sky. That's what
yeah,
I meant to say. No Man's Sky,
Bro, No
right?
Man's
They're
Sky was
both.
so boring.
I will
They
say
both.
though,
I will say like the reason I bring them up because they both came out really bad, but as of right now, they're actually like they worked on the game. They did a lot of stuff. They added a lot of the stuff that they said they were going to add, and then even on top of that, had major improvements. I
Okay,
think
I
okay.
do
I
I
think that's
do
cool,
I
but
agree with you. I agree with you.
I think that's cool, but I also think it's shitty
I
because you
do I,
shouldn't have to wait. that long for you to update your
No,
game after people have already bought it.
that's
You know.
completely true,
I
but I do want to add that I do have some sympathy for them because when they first came out with the announcement of No Man's Sky, people were treating that those devs as if they were a AAA company. Um,
when
a
they
lot of
clearly
people,
weren't.
yeah, a lot of people didn't realize that it was an indie dev that were making this game, and people started hyping it up, and like they wanted to keep the hype going because like they're a small team, so they needed as much like attention to their game as possible.
Yeah,
Um,
all that attention is money, bro.
yeah, so
Like it's literally free advertising.
so of course they like fed into it, which isn't a good thing, but like it's understandable from their viewpoint, like because like people thought that it was being developed by some like really
Do
big team with like 500 people working on the game when it was in reality maybe like 50 people working on the game,
do
and
I believe that what they did was right? No. But do I believe what they did was smart? Absolutely, man.
yes,
That was genius. Genius marketing.
yeah, and eventually it got to the point where like they the game is now how people expect it to
How
be when it came out,
envisioned.
Yeah.
which
But now
does
I don't have like the time or like interest to play it.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
understandable, but like that does say a lot though that they went out their way to do that because there's a lot of game companies that don't do stuff like that where like if their game is really bad at the start, like they won't go out of their way to make it better. They just
I
go
I
Well,
do
but
back.
that
think. Well,
shows
here's the thing.
the
Here's wait.
difference between like an indie company and
Here's
like, oh, go
here's the
ahead.
thing though. It's like, you know, I don't think that they did it purposely to be like, like twisting their like mustache, be like, ha ha, like this is like, this is what I'm gonna lie this entire way. I think that in a way, maybe partially to hype up the game. Yes, they just wanted to like, agree and do all this stuff. But I also think in their heart of hearts, they wanted to have the game to be like that
Oh,
when it came out,
absolutely.
but they just didn't have the time and the
They didn't have the
resources to do it.
manpower.
I did watch a video of like the entire history of like what went wrong with it, and like they did have a lot of setbacks. I think they had like a flood or something in their offices, and it was like a very small office that they started out with, and they started going more and more. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know a lot of stuff happened
You know,
Yeah.
it's probably
during their
truly.
during their development. So like I think they did have the hopes for it.
Another thing is
Uh,
And
though,
has this turned into like I feel like I found our niche, boys.
I mean, I feel like we're all just
We
passionate about games. We all
we
play
we
them.
correlate
yeah.
towards video games. We should do it. This should be a talk show on video games, and we should bring up like current events on different video
Well,
games.
we
I say
also
fuck
I
it.
feel like we
We
also
Well, I mean,
discuss
we
we
about
talk
do
we
games
talk
this.
as
We
about
well.
do the
everything.
exact same thing as Watch Mojo Games, but we do it in
Okay,
our own
no,
spin.
no, I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna
don't know
do
about that
that,
one.
bro.
Welcome
No,
to
no,
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 I
no,
Watch
no, no,
mean,
no.
Mojo.
No,
I just don't,
obviously not.
I just
Obviously
don't
not.
like, I just don't like labeling
Yeah,
the podcast in general because we just talk about whatever.
I
That's why I
feel
You're
always
like
like
right. We
calling
do
it
talk about
because
whatever.
that's why I like having it as a cafe because you can just talk about anything.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you're right, but I feel like we always gravitate towards video games.
well, yeah,
It's well, I
because
mean, it's
we
either video games or
or like
anime,
anime.
manga.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's
there's other
true.
stuff that we would bring up, but I think the podcast is kind of an escape for ourselves too, because I mean, we talk a lot about what's in our lives, but we don't talk about what's stressing us like at work or in our personal lives too much. We
I mean,
just want
I
to
talked about
have
what was stressing me at work, bro. Fucking boredom.
it.
Like legit.
I mean that's relatable for everyone, though. I mean, everyone gets bored at work
No,
every now
bro,
and
but
then.
it's bad. Like I legit have nothing. And I mean, like I completed 50 Sudoku puzzles in my downtime in
It's pretty
5
good.
days. 10 puzzles per day. Like I've legit gone nuts in that fucking game.
Okay, you should read the entire encyclopedia until you can memorize it and read it backwards.
I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I've already read through I read through Watchmen. That was really fun.
now you
No,
got to
you
read The
need to
Old Man in the Sea.
Yeah.
Um right now I'm reading The 12 Rules of Life by
Like Jordan Peterson.
yeah, it's actually really interesting.
Who?
Jordan Peterson.
Is it that one old guy who's like always on
Yeah.
those?
Yeah,
Like,
he's like a
no,
pretty
okay.
fucking crazy.
He got his psychology license revoked recently.
I believe it, man.
He's
Guy's
one
a
of those.
fucking maniac.
He's one of those. He's one of those people who like he'll sometimes say something like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense," and then other times it's just like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
No, for real,
Like,
bro.
that's how
He
I
like,
feel sometimes with people
in
like
my
that.
opinion, he speaks like a child. Like sometimes children
Sounds
say
like one
some
too.
things and you're
Well,
like, wow, that was really smart. And then
I think
sometimes they're saying some shit and you're like, the fuck did you just say?
I think mostly in any kind of like politics, it's a lot of like the not I said nah,
But
like
he's
it's
not
not what
a
that's not what I,
nope,
he's
nope.
not a politician, he's a psychologist.
Yeah.
no, but he gets himself involved in politics.
You're
That's the
right.
thing.
He
Because like
talks about
you
politics.
can say that, but like he will still bring up things that are
But I don't
political.
look at him as a political figure. I look at him as
I wouldn't call him a political figure, but I would say
kind of like a
he
celebrity
debs.
psychiatrist
Well, I
or
wouldn't say
psychologist.
I wouldn't say he's a political leader or anything because he doesn't do anything like
No,
that.
he's
But I would
definitely
say
not a political
but
figure.
I would say he does add to like that the red pill kind of like people who you know do all that crazy dumb shit. I think that's how I feel personally because a lot of the advice he gives sometimes is bad in that sense where it just makes these toxic ass motherfuckers
No, you're
who just
absolutely
do that
right.
weird shit. You
Some of
know.
the advice he gives is crazy. Some of the advice he gives, you like look at it and you're like, the fuck did I just read?
I think the problem is that people see people who are successful, and then when they hear
Oh yeah,
anything
no.
of advice from those successful people, they're like, "Well, they made it, so it must be true." But they don't dwell on it and think about what it really is and like how it can affect other people. You know?
I
Yeah.
think one thing is like I'm only like a chapter into the book, and honestly, the only thing that I've gathered from it is that I should stand up straight. No, like
That'd be honestly.
I kid you not. That is the first chapter of the book is stand up straight, shoulders back. And
I
it was
mean,
kind
I
of
think I.
it's kind of funny reading it, honestly.
Speaking of like just political people in general, but every time I see Ben Shapiro on like TikTok or something, all I can think about is that meme of his mom's or his sister's milkers,
Oh my
Bro,
and I
I
always
swear
laugh
his
every
sister's
single
tits are
time.
huge.
Don't bring that
No,
up to me, man.
it's edited, bro. It's edited, guys.
I
Calm
will.
down.
Are you
Hold
sure?
your.
Yeah,
It is
even
100%.
but like the unedited ones though, like she still has some fucking like absolute knockers on her, dog.
She does.
Bro,
She
you
does.
know Drowsy be looking up these photos.
I do, dude. I do. Abigail, I know you're
Oh
married,
my god.
but hit me up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Abigail, my boy right here, he's a vixen in disguise. He's
Oh, you know what?
absolutely
You know what? Movie.
Casanova to the max.
I will ruin.
Drowsy, you didn't watch this with us, but we didn't bring it up because it's been a while. But we did watch Oppenheimer. Me and Tony and a few of other friends.
Oh, that
and
was a great fucking movie.
very good movie. Loved it.
Like if I have any recommendation for you this year is watch Oppenheimer before it wins an Oscar. Just do that. Do me that kindness.
Like I think it was such a even if it was those like I think 3 hours, it really didn't feel like it.
It was
like I felt
3
so
hours
invested.
and 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I felt just so invested in it that it wasn't like it didn't feel as long like
When
that.
it ended,
Also,
I wanted it to keep going. It's kind of
also,
sad.
it always made me laugh that Josh Peck was in the movie, but he only had like 2 lines in the movie, and one of them was like, "Oh my god," and like the other one was like, "Oh, I got the button ready," like like all that shit. But Megan, yeah, can you imagine? I was thinking about that too during the movie. It's just like Megan,
bro. If he screamed that while pressing the button, I would have lost it. I would have absolutely lost my mind.
It feels like Oppenheimer. My little sister pressed the button. Oh.
She pushed the nuclear button. She fucking did it.
The button is spherical. Spherical.
Oh god.
I enjoy movies.
I
a
love
lot,
movies. I
but
think movies
Oh,
I
are
feel
like
like
an
I feel like
escape from reality.
I feel like my biggest problem is I always go back to just watching Forrest Gump.
Bro, Forrest Gump just like makes you feel good no matter what like point
It
of life
does,
you
dude.
are or
There,
anything. Like you can always feel good watching Forrest Gump.
it's one of those
what do you
movies where
what do
like if
you
someone
guys?
asks me to watch it, I will always watch it. If it's ever on in the
Mhm.
back, if I'm like ever flipping through channels and it's on, I will stop whatever I'm doing to watch it. Like
Hey,
it is,
Drowsy,
I love it.
Drowsy,
What do you
what
guys?
did you think about the last time? Sorry, Lee. Let me finish one thing. What did you think about the last time that we watched Spirited Away?
Oh, you want me to bring that up?
Oh yeah, bring it up, man.
Okay, so actually, on my personal channel, I made an entire video about that night. Um, but yes. So we were chilling. Like we all got together. Actually, you know what? Let me do this in a whole like
I'm
story
gonna go pee real
arc.
quick. I'll
Go
still have
ahead.
my headset on, so I'll still hear you guys.
Um, so I think it was about a week prior. To us
Was it a
hanging
week
out.
prior?
I think it was about a week prior, either a week or a couple days. It definitely wasn't like the next day, but about I'd say maybe like a week to like a couple days prior. Um, I was hanging out with my good friend here, Tony. Uh, and we had I believe our buddy Scott was with us too, and
It's true.
he a little bit before we got together, the three of us, Tony was like, "Hey, I bought a pound of shrooms." And we all
I
met up at
did. I did.
we all met up at this.
Okay, it wasn't that much. It was like 2 ounces.
It looked like a fucking pillowcase, dog.
Yeah, dude, because it was light though. It was super light.
Anyway, we all met up. Like after he told us that, we all met up at this specific park. I'm not gonna name drop it because you know, don't need the feds coming to us.
Nah, that's true, bro. It's like keep your tone, keep the privy to our location to a
Exactly.
minimum. You know.
Anyway, we met up. We all hung out for a bit. I think we got some food, and then like maybe a couple hours passed. We went back to the park, and we were in the parking lot. We were just sitting talking, like not really doing much. We were just talking about like shit. I think we were talking about like some like problems that were going on during the time. But
Yeah.
while we were in the car, I noticed there's a car right next to us. Um, and the car's getting like all steamy. It's all fogged up. And then a couple like I think I looked. I don't remember if I looked over at you or over at Scott, and I was like, I think they're fucking in that car. Um, and maybe like 10 minutes pass, and the cops pull up to the
Bro, I
parking lot,
remember this day.
and
I remember this day.
and they pull up, and I remember looking over at Tony, and he was like ghost white. Like he was like he looked like he looked like if the cop went up to us and like started talking to us, he looked like he would have like maybe had a panic attack. Um but the cops pull up to us, and sure enough, they came over, talked to us. Tony somehow like managed to get his composure, and we talked to him, and
Bro, I
he
don't know how. I to this day, I have no idea, no
and
clue. Mind you, I
like
was high as a kite.
yeah, we didn't do the shrooms, but like he was definitely high. Like just just off those space
Somehow,
perks, off the
some
marijuana.
way, some miracle of life, I convinced this cop that we're just hanging out
Well,
and
yeah,
playing.
because he came up to us and he asked us if we know anything about like the bathroom, because apparently someone had like done a bunch of graffiti in like the park bathroom.
Oh
And
yeah.
he asked to look at our hands, and like there's no paint on our hands, anything. And he's like, all right. um and then he goes to the car next to us, um and he like and like
Yeah,
we all just started like looking at each other, and we're all like slowly talking, and like getting back into like not being worried anymore.
that's true.
And then I just remember hearing like he's like, this is a he's like, this you guys can be charged with a felony, right? And I looked over at the car next to us, and he's all like, you guys could be registered sex offenders. Um, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was right. They were fucking in the car. And he's like, I'm gonna let you guys slide because I don't. He's like, I'm not trying to like ruin your guys' lives. Um,
Yeah, I remember that. That was a
for
funny day.
for those of you that don't know, you can be put on the sex offender registry for like if you're just
Doing the deed in the
if you're
car in a
both
public
consent yeah
area.
if you're both consenting adults. It doesn't matter if you're doing it in public, and especially like the park we were by was by a school. If it's by a school, you are if the cop isn't like if the cop isn't chill, then like you will be a registered sex offender. Same thing as also like peeing in public as well. If you're like within like um I think like half a mile from like a school or something like that, um and you're peeing in public, you can be put on the sex offenders registry.
Listen though, don't take that one to heart. Like if you need to take a piss and you're a
most
guy
most
and you can
most
easily just like whip it out and do your
Yeah,
deed, like
most
do your thing, man.
most cops are pretty reasonable when it comes to that, at least because they understand,
Yeah, that's true,
but
bro. Cause like honestly, people are people, and if we just gotta take a piss, you gotta take a piss. Like man, you gotta go.
but anyway, like we thought that was the end of it, and and then we're all getting ready to leave. Next thing you know, Tony's car won't start. uh, so he's sitting here with 2 ounces to almost a pound of shrooms in his trunk, and like, and his car won't start. And then like
I was
I
losing
remember
it.
the cop comes back, and he's all like, "You're like, my car won't start," like, and we're all trying to leave now, um, and like I think you were probably really scared during that time, and you called your dad to come help you out, and then I know you managed to be safe, like the cop didn't suspect you of anything. Anyway, fast forward to like I said, about a week to like a couple days later.
I think it
Uh,
was like a week later.
yeah, um, and like we meet up at our buddy Scott's house, and we got a pizza. And we're like, hey, let's do the shrooms. So we did the shrooms. Um, our buddy Scott, he like he got like pretty faded like really fast. Like
Yeah, no, he was gone pretty quickly.
like it kicked in for him like super early, because we were gonna watch some movies, and we started with a movie called Fantastic Planet, which is a really
The
trippy
French.
French animated film from
Yeah.
like the 70s. um and I remember the whole time I just hear like from the corner of my like the left side of the room, I just hear like, "Whoa, that's so cool. Wow." Like from Scott, while we're all like still waiting for it to kick in.
That was exactly me, man. I was
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is weak.
Yeah, I was like, damn, bro. I hope he didn't get duds, dog. Cause like, I was like, I hope Scott's not like going through like some sort of placebo effect, and like,
That would have been funny if we did though. That would have been so funny. I would have
yeah.
laughed so hard.
But we finished the movie, and I like after the movie ended, I think that's when it started slowly kicking in for me.
Yep, same.
And then we started watching Spirited Away, and that's when it
That was
fully
a
kicked in.
oh
I remember
oh.
there was a time during that film where I kept feeling like I was sinking into the couch, and I'd like reach my arm out, and I'd like grab like Tony's chest or his arm, like use him as a line back into like reality, and
That's so true.
I swear we had like fucking tele like telepathic powers or something, because like you would look at me and I would just know that you're looking at me, like you didn't have to say anything, like nothing, and I just knew that you wanted to hit my vape. and and like I just knew, like I was like, all right.
Bro, he would literally just like hand it over, like not even like I would begin to turn and he would like, here you go.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
And like, dude, that movie, watching Spirited Away like on shrooms, was probably like the best experience I had.
Oh
Um,
no, hands down
like
one of the greatest experiences of my life.
like ever on shrooms, because most of my experiences on shrooms in the past have always been like really really negative. But that's usually because I did them by myself, or I was usually with people that
Why?
I don't know. I like I said, I either did them by myself or like with people that like I wouldn't consider like close friends.
No,
Um,
that's fair.
but like, that was a good night. Like I was having a good time, and I got really emotional towards the end of Spirited Away because I was so entranced within the world of it that like um
I didn't want it to end. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie.
that's
I
exactly how I
was
felt.
wow.
I think I told you guys, but like there was like some points where I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why is she tripping, dude? Like, why is she acting like, oh, like the main character? I forget her name, but like, I was like, why is she what's up with her? Like, why doesn't she understand that she's on shrooms? And I was like, oh wait, no, I'm on shrooms. I was, yeah, and I think the funniest part of that night is like while we were watching the movie, Scott's sister like came into the house and like she
Bro,
opened the door
I
pretty
will never
loudly.
forget. No, 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 no. Let me tell this part. Let me
Okay, go ahead.
fucking tell
Go
it.
ahead.
So we were watching the movie, and it comes to the scene where the little girl goes into the room of like the woman who owns the bathhouse, right?
Yeah.
And I remember as the woman turns into like the big bad evil witch, and it's like something wicked this way comes. As soon as she said that, literally the instant she finished saying that, the door opens and Scott's sister walks in, and I absolutely lose my fucking mind. I was
Yeah, that
losing it.
was that was like that was like really weird. Like I think we all like were shocked when she first came in. Um, I remember there was a point as well where like I went to the to like go take a piss, and I it felt like I was in the bathroom for like less than like a minute, but like I guess you guys said I was in there for a while, but which I understand because Scott's downstairs bathroom has like this like ornate like a repeating like rose pattern, like all these tiny little roses like in a repeating pattern all over through the wall.
Oh, I know.
And I was just staring at them for a while. And when I went to go wash my hands, I was just kind of staring at myself. I'm like, damn. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm just gonna add this in here because every single trip I've ever had, like I think 80 to 90% of them always start in the bathroom because like it won't hit at all for like God knows how long, and then the moment I go in the bathroom, taking a piss, taking a shit, whatever, I just like look around and I'm like, fuck, why is it always starting here, bro?
What
What is
about the
going
time?
on?
What about the time we were with Natasha?
Let's
Um,
not talk about that.
I'll never forget, bro. I like walked out onto the balcony, and I remember I think I was shirtless. It was like 5 a.m. in the morning. The sun was coming up, and it was like one of the most beautiful sunrises I think I've ever seen. I
it's
think
really
you were with
nice to
Natasha
look
inside.
out.
I don't know what y'all were doing. I was just wow. I was
I was cooking, I think, something. Um, I think she was making coffee or something.
I think I had coffee. I tried it, and it was like one of the worst coffees I've ever had in my life. And I spit it out back into the cup, but I didn't tell her, and I dumped it out into the sink. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn, bro.
Um,
I told
yeah,
her
I
it was great
remember
coffee too. I kind
that
of feel
was
bad
that
now.
was the same day. I think we smoked like 30 cigarettes or some shit. Or
We
actually, no,
did,
three
we
packs
did.
of cigarettes, some
It
shit
was two
like that.
packs. It was 40. It was
Oh,
40.
2 bags. Okay. Yeah.
God
Well, I
damn.
mean, we didn't like. I mean, we had some separate ones, so
It was
not.
between three people,
Yeah, so kind of
and
distributed
in
it.
like one,
Wait,
and then we drove to Julian.
we got lost.
We got lost on the way back.
Ended up on the border almost.
Hey, listen. I got us home, right?
Sure.
Mind you, I was coming down still.
I was too. I slept next to the pie.
I'll since that
Oh well,
story
now we
seems
just
like
mentioned an
finished.
area that's kind of like relative to us, so we might have
Nah,
to.
bro, we
No,
just said
we
a
went to
pie and a border. Like that could be anywhere.
Julian's
You said
house.
Jew. No, you can't. That's not what he said.
No, he
just
said he went to
just
Julian's
bleep that
house.
out. No, you
Bro, you know
didn't.
there are like 30 cities in the United States named Julian.
Anyway,
It's been a long night. I think I'm gonna let Lee finish it out here.
I'll finish it out with a story that I was gonna bring up. Well, I have two actually because we never brought it up. I
Oh,
won't
that's
go
fine.
too into two specifics, but Tony was there for one of them. One of them was that speaking of, you know, these crazy stories of
Crazy.
intoxication or whatever. I did drink an entire bottle of rum. You know.
It's
Um,
true. One day he did. I had to
and
carry him up his stairs. I'll never forget that day.
yeah, and then I fell asleep in front of my bathroom, and then my parents found me one by one. Was just saying hi, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. Am I in your way? And they're like, yeah, a little bit. I'm like, okay. And then I slump over somewhere else. I was like wrapped in a little blanket burrito.
I'll never forget that
Um,
day. I had to drive you home, carry you up those stairs, come back down. I think I had Natasha in the car with me, and I had to drive her home too.
mhm.
And that shit
I
was
don't
fucked.
think I don't even think I threw. I don't think I threw it. Maybe I did maybe once, but then I just slept. It was actually a lot better. There was another time where I was with my dad and we had a bunch. We had like three, it was a group of like 8 of us, I think, in the garage. It was like one of his friends. They had a little Filipino party, and like Filipinos, man, they had
And the
so
only
much
two
Hennessy,
Vietnamese people ping pong.
uh, ping pong,
Bro,
and
you gotta
Jerry.
and Jerry, their cousin who's in
Yeah,
jail.
no, he's a brother.
Oh, isn't he in jail though? Or was it
No,
Ping who's in jail?
no, he went to, but he was out
He went to go
already,
visit.
like years. No,
He
years ago.
escaped.
Yeah, sure. But I
He
remember
he played a
I
ping
had
pong tournament for life or death, and he won
for
his freedom.
any Filipinos, I had sig lumpia pancit, a lot of it. I had like 2 or 3 plates with it, and I had like probably the accumulation of like 8 shots of Hennessy, maybe more, because my dad kept passing it to me, and I threw up all of that food on my bed. So I ruined my sheets that day, and it smelled horrible in my room. It was like, I don't know if anyone has ever thrown up Filipino food, but it's possibly the worst smelling thing I've ever had to smell. I was horrified, and mixed that with Hennessy,
Nah, man,
even it's even worse.
the worst thing I've ever smelled, and I'll be honest, was a pastrami pizza with wine. That was
Oh,
the worst smell I've ever smelled in my entire life. I thought I was gonna die.
Wait, quick,
oh,
quick tangent.
yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Um, so main chain pizza establishment rankings, because I want to know what your guys' opinion are on like the big ones. Like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Little Caesars.
Well, you gotta understand, man.
Uh,
I'm a Domino's man.
I
I
think
live true to the Domino's
I
name.
think it goes Domino's on top, and then for me personally, I think it would be Pizza Hut, and then Little Caesars, then Papa John's, and then
Whoa, 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 whoa! You put Papa John's below Little Caesars,
Hold on,
I don't like Papa John's as much.
listen. So
man.
I agree with having Domino's on top. Like I know a lot of people like they're not a big fan of like the pizza in general, but I think the seasoning they use on the crust like helps make it like enhance the flavor a little bit more. Cause like
Yeah,
you know
100%.
when it comes to chain pizzas, obviously like none of them are gonna beat like mom and pop shops. Um, but
Oh
like
no, like there's one mom and pop shop right up the street from me. Oh man, bro, they make the best anchovy and mushroom pizza. Oh my god, I lose my mind.
okay. Anyway, for me, for me, it's Domino's, and then I know this is gonna be kind of like a what the fuck, but I put Little Caesars below Domino's because for its
I'm gonna
price, I
slap
think
the
it's
shit out of you,
for its
bro.
for its price, I think it's decent.
Okay, look,
that's
listen.
true.
I'll be
But
honest.
I
For its
literally
price, it's
spent.
decent, and it's worth to make the list. It's worth to
Mhm.
be on here.
Yes, but
It's not.
I can count on my hands how many times I've been to Pizza Hut in the last like 5 years, and it's less than 10 because it is much more expensive, and their pizza is not bad. It's just like for how much it costs, like
my
it's not
my thing
much for
is
me.
like, I don't know what it is, but I think Pizza Hut and Papa John's both have really greasy pizzas compared to Domino's and Little Caesars. Like, there's not
Dude,
much grease to them,
Nah,
and
you're right.
they still
they're
taste good.
I
And
Okay,
don't.
but
like,
Little
that's just how
Caesars,
I
in
see
my
it.
opinion, isn't like okay. Look, for me personally, it
It's not
goes
amazing.
Domino's at the top, then we go Papa John's, then Pizza Hut, then Little Caesars. That's for me.
Yeah. I mean, I just grew up with Little Caesars. You know, whenever like I
Me
had friends
too.
over and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get pizza."
That's
It's just like,
fair.
"Oh, it's gonna be Little Caesars,
Although
some bread."
I remember Little Caesars from the day after, and for me, Little Caesars will always be the best day after pizza. Like,
Yeah, like cold Little
cause
Caesar slaps.
oh, bro, cold Little Caesars is like the best thing in the world.
I do want to say like
I,
Especially with that garlic sauce
oh yeah,
that comes
dude,
with
for
the
sure.
oh, bro, oh my god, I lose my mind.
I don't understand people who like greasy pizza. Like, and for me,
Like the Costco pizza, that shit's greasy as fuck. I
it's
can't stand
greasy.
that pizza.
It
yeah, I
is.
don't like it that
I get a
much.
glizzy every single time. I remember the time Lee and I tried to get glizzies and pizzas,
Chicken. Then we
and
got a
or no,
chicken
we got the
bake.
chicken bake, bro. We
That
finished half the
was
chicken bake and the full hot dog.
he.
That shit was
No.
hard.
No, here's what happened, right? I had a chicken bake. Tony had two hot dogs. Tony was like, "Man, I'm not finishing this other hot dog," and I was like, "I'm not finishing this other half of the chicken bake." And we were like, "Okay, you give me your hot dog. I'll give you half of this chicken bake." So we have a little split, and I don't even think we finished that. You know,
Bro,
I
that shit
think it
was
was still
massive.
it was disgustingly massive.
Fucking
Um,
back on the greasy though, like I have a pretty bad experience. Like back when I used to live in downtown, um I there was this one pizza place that my mom and I went to, and I will never go back to it. And because whenever I had like some spare change, I would get like a pizza from 7-Eleven, and they're not great, but like it was something.
mhm.
Hey man, whatever works works, you know.
But that 7-Eleven pizza outranks the fucking Italian fucking place I went to, where I got their pizza. Not only was it like, not only was the pizza itself super mid, but like the first slice I got from the pizza, all of the cheese with the pepperoni on it slid right off the pizza, and it was just like the marinara sauce on the bread, because the pizza was so fucking greasy that it just like fell
Was that
apart.
like a pizza? Was that like a pizza at a mall?
No, it was a restaurant.
Oh really? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it was an Italian restaurant, and I remember like I was like, okay, maybe it's super greasy. My hands were super wet from the grease, and I was like, like maybe I'm not gonna discourage it all the way yet, because like I hadn't tasted the pizza yet. So I put all of the cheese and the pepperoni back on to like the actual pizza slice. I bit into it, and I'm like, damn, this is not worth it. This is like shitty. And of course I finished it because we paid for it and it was expensive. But like
Bro, there was one place, man,
never again.
in Florida, I tell you. It's called Casolas, right? And this place would serve you a slice of pizza. And mind you, it was like a $4 slice of pizza. However, this slice of pizza was the size of a whole goddamn pizza. It was a giant ass slice, and it was all for you as the size of the fucking
Oh,
tray,
like the fucking
right?
New York fucking style ass pizzas.
Yeah, and it's just fucking massive. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. And you're like, okay, swear, I get a whole slice of pizza. We get some wings, we get some beer. It's a great time. Anyway, I'll never forget. Me and my dad, one time we sat down and we ate a whole goddamn pizza, like a whole like actual 22-inch pizza. That shit was insane.
Do you remember, Tony, after it was one of the parties we had at your house. I don't remember if it was like a Halloween or a Christmas party. Pretty sure it was a Christmas party or New Year's party. It was one of those three. Um the morning after, you and I were like the only ones awake. And we were like, you know what? Let's do something nice for everybody. Everyone's gonna be hungover. So you and I went out to Dunkin' Donuts, got a bunch of donuts. We came back and nobody fucking had any, because they're like, oh no, I'm leaving. Like I want to get actual breakfast. Like it was just you and I eating the donuts because everyone was too hungover.
I remember that. It was so fucked up, but it was true.
I would have had a donut.
Yeah,
Hey
yeah,
man,
you
take a
weren't there for
donut with
that
you.
one. I remember that.
I was sad.
No man, I would have been so fucking happy, bro, if I woke up to some donuts, bro. I feel like hell yeah.
Yeah, it was just Tony and I. We got some coffee and some donuts. It was
I got like one of those carafes of coffee that dispensed to everybody.
Do you remember while we were driving around, because we were also looking for like maybe getting food for other people, but like when we were driving around we saw we saw Ben just roaming the streets.
What the fuck?
I remember.
Yeah, he said he woke up and he was hungry, so he was just walking around to see where he could get food. And we just see him we see him at a crosswalk.
I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You gotta love the honestly, man, there should be a whole podcast dedicated to the misadventures of Ben.
That's definitely the next one. We'll talk about the Jack in the Box incident, but we're running out of time.
I don't want to talk. Okay, yeah, we're running out of time. I'm sorry, Lee. Complete your story.
Oh no, I was gonna go on another tangent, but I can save it for the next podcast. Because it might take a little bit longer. Because I know you guys are gonna all have your opinion, and you're all gonna want to describe.
We're all gonna hop in and
is,
discuss
so
shit.
I'll just write it down. You know.
Yeah, just write it down. Remember for next time. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening, and if you made it this far, we
love you. Yeah,
Not for real, we love you. Mind you, this is over Discord, so like, there's
we're doing everything we can just to get these videos out so you can
honestly,
enjoy them.
guys, I really like this format. I think it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was nice in this one.
If
I got to sit in my nice, comfy chair. I got to relax and like kind of chill.
Mm-hmm.
I got to have a drink.
For everyone also listening, we are definitely going to be trying to make shorter content, so it's a little bit more digestible.
Watchable.
So it's not all 1 hour long videos or something like that. So
honestly, guys, I think we should have like straight up single discussion videos, like where we just talk about one thing.
No, I was thinking more of the gaming stuff that we could have.
That's true.
Shorter, because like you can't really like no one's really gonna care for like the discussion ones as much.
I don't know.
I do. For anyone that did make it this far in the podcast, let us know what your rankings are for the big four for Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and Little Caesars.
If we missed any, let us know.
Bro, they're probably gonna say the mall brand. What's it called? Sbarro. What's the name of that mall? Sbarro. Yeah. They're probably gonna say that. I'm be like, bro, I've never been to a Sbarro in my life. I only seen that shit walking around in the mall.
There's gonna be one of those Wetzel Pretzel pizza bites kind of people.
All right, listen, man. I love the Wetzel Pretzel pizza bites. Them shit goes.
They do go hard. I get the jalapeno sauce of those ones.
Oh yeah. Anyway.
Oh, now you're making me hungry. Shit.
Anyway, thank you for joining us on this episode.
Thanks for joining us in the cafe, sitting down, enjoying some food, drinking whatever you need to drink,
getting down on the ground,
enjoying life, my friends, enjoying life.
Thank you for sitting on the floor and chewing our toenails for us, listening to our stories.
I hate you so much, Drowsy.
We will see you next time.
Absolutely, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Good night, good morning, good afternoon.
And
whatever it is for you, we love you guys.
Good night and good riddance.
Peace.
Peace.